So, first thing I want to talk to you about is the importance of your setup. Okay, you might not have a permanent barn. We don't have one that's a good area for these goats. But if it's cold and if it's snowing, if it's rainy, you need to have a dry, warm area for them. Here you can see where we have the baby goats. We've got a little turtle for them. They're with mama here. This is our kitten pen. It's very cheap. If you're wondering, this is just a vinyl billboard. They're laying in this straw. It keeps them warm. Because really, when they're first couple days old, heat is the biggest thing. You don't want them to get cold. Immediately out of the womb, Riley walked down here, found them on the ground. One of them was cold. Once you got it warmed up, it perked up, started trying to get up. If your goat is sluggish, laying on the ground, it's probably cold, especially your baby goat. If you can see in her feed bucket, we have her some parsley along with some alfalfa. And you might be wondering, why are we feeding her parsley? Well, she's been having some trouble with her udder. She's a little bit inflamed, and we don't believe it's mastitis. That's not just our opinion. We've talked to a friend. They've been over, checked her out. They've been in the goats for many, many years. They don't believe it's mastitis. They think it's just an edema. So what we're doing is we're feeding her parsley. If she wants it, if she needs it, she's consuming it. She's eating the hound out of it. If she doesn't need it, she's not eating it. Parsley's a strong flavored herb. It's really starting to help her udder. It's okay, girl. So here, I've got a mixture of coconut oil and peppermint oil. We made it up. This was another suggestion by the friend to help with her udder. It's improved greatly. She doesn't have a lot of temperature in her udder. It feels normal compared to the rest of her body. And just this massaging, it kind of relieves some pressure. Peppermint combined with the coconut oil is almost like an icy hot for her udder. And I think it really helps. So it's worked for us, so you might want to have this on hand. And that brings me to my next point. You want to have a good milking stand. She might not be letting her babies feed. You want to have a place where you can put them in and milk them and control them. The milking stand made a night and day difference for this goat right here. She would not let us touch her. She was fighting us. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. As soon as we put her in here, she was ready to go. So if you were wondering what our milking setup was, here it is. This is just a simple 2x4 milking stand that I built. I put it on some wheels. Hopefully you can see that. And the most important part is the head gate. The head gate operates with a screwdriver. You can work it back and forth. And what that does is that allows the goats to be locked in. It actually calms them down a little bit. And if the babies are screaming like they are behind me, or if the food runs out, they're going to stand there and you can control half of their body. Now their other half, their feet, sometimes that's a bigger issue, but you have to be prepared for mama to not want to let the babies latch on. You need to be able to milk them and bottle feed them if necessary. That might not be the case. That might not be the goal for your herd. So you're going to have to make your own decisions. I'm going to link some good nipples that we use, actually down in the description up, and we get them from Amazon. Cheapest you can find them. They work really great. You can put them on a soda bottle. Best thing you can buy. Good girl. So these are our two little bucklings. They're beautiful, absolutely beautiful, 100% purebred. We're going to be registering these. These are beautiful goats, perfect spots. They both have hearts. I don't know if you can see that right there on its side. That heart, the funny thing about that, the mom's name is Valentine. So it's kind of a coincidence, but it's meant to be. But they're both beautiful goats. They're a little bit hungry. She's not letting them latch on. So we're going to be bottle feed them here in a few minutes. But we're really happy with how healthy they are. And the heat lamp is another thing. If you live in a cold area and if your goats are going to be kidding in the winter, you need a heat lamp. We didn't plan on this. When we bought them, they were already bred. Preferably, we'd like to have them bred so that they kidded in March or April. You know, a warmer month of the year, so there's less danger of the baby dying. But God was with us. He blessed us, and the kids came out okay. So if you want to do this, pray about it, work, and get your rows in order. He's going to take care of you, and everything's going to work out okay. So, if you're wondering what's in this container right here, on this side we have baking soda. Baking soda is really good. We leave it free choice. The goats typically don't eat it, but when they do, that means they've got a case of bloat, which sometimes that happens feeding alfalfa and clover. And then on this side, we have a all-purpose goat mineral. It's really high in copper, which is very important. Now, if you have sheep, copper can get too much for the sheep and it'll kill them, but goats need their copper. So make sure and give minerals to the moms. They need plenty of it. Here's something that seems not very important, but it is. It's their water situation. You need to make sure to keep them watered. This ain't as important for the babies. Well, really it is. You want the mom to have plenty of water so she can produce quality milk for the babies to drink. It's that simple. You drink water, they need water. Make sure you have a reliable source. So 2 days ago, my wife was at home and she walked down in the morning. It's about 7 o'clock. She just checked on them around 5. Wasn't showing any real clear signs of labor. And she walked down there and the goats were just laying on the ground. Mom, Lucy, she did a really great job. She dried the babies off. She licked off all of the afterbirth, got all of that cleaned up for us. So they were dry, but they were cold. Now, something that you really need to look into getting before you have these baby goats is some Nutri-Drench. What this did is it really helped the babies. And what I mean is, they were lifeless almost, you know, just kind of laying there. You could tell they were cold. We couldn't get them to latch onto the teat, but we shot the Nutri-Drench into their mouth, and it got them going. It's basically a mixture of mainly molasses along with some other minerals, and that just gives them a jolt. Obviously, this isn't something we feed them every day, but it's something to just get them up on their feet and get them ready to experience life and the world. And then the shock of our lifetime was yesterday, Riley was here all day, and around 2 o'clock, she came down to check on the babies, and we had 2 more. Our other goat, Lucy, ended up having 2 boys. Both of them had a heart on their side, the black and white spotted one and the brown and white one. That's really funny because her name, or the mom's name, was Valentine. She was born on Valentine's Day. So it's all worked out great. They're healthy. They're bouncing around. They love to drink their milk. We've had a little bit of problem with them latching onto the mom, so we've kind of had to take on the responsibility. And I'm not gonna lie, it's mainly been Riley. She's been getting up, feeding them the milk. We've been milking the moms and getting them what they need. And before you go, just make sure you have a clean, dry, warm place. I want to reiterate this, that's separate from where the other goats are, so you can lock them in there and have them happy. This doesn't have to necessarily be a barn. We've got a tarp over a hoop coop that we built, and that's worked great. You want to give them some heat, especially if it's winter time. You want to be checking on them pretty constantly. If you're both, or if there's nobody at home for very long periods of time, this might not be something for you unless you want a hands-off herd, which that's not what we want. You want to make sure you have a milking stand. Mama isn't always happy to let the babies latch on, or for you to milk her for that matter. So milking stand makes it so much easier. And whenever you go to buy a goat, make sure that they've got proper teat development. Our one goat, I don't want to say she has bad teats. She has a really good one and a very small one, and it's lopsided. We've kind of had some worries about mastitis, but after we've called some people out, that's not what it is, thank goodness. But we are having to give her some remedies for it. And just make sure, you're not going to be prepared if this is your first time, but make sure you go out and get a birthing kit ready. Some paper towels, some iodine for disinfectant, and some basic healthcare things that you would have, you know, sterilized pads and things to put down for the babies. It's just a really good option to have because you want to have success with this. Good thing is, God made them the way they are. They're going to take care of it. If you're stressing out right now, your goat's about to have a kid and you don't know when, do the best that you can. It'll all be taken care of. God's got your back. He designed them. They can take care of their baby. It's really amazing how fast they pop up. Maybe it's because they are a prey animal. I don't know. But they're up and they're able to move just like that. Kind of wobbly, you know, but they're able to get up and go. So just have some faith. Do the best that you can and let Him take care of the rest. I really appreciate you watching this video. If you want to check out some more of my videos, you can subscribe. I've got a link right here. My name's Appalachian Jack. I'm 23. I'm starting into this homesteading, And if you want to follow along on the journey, I'd be happy to have you here. And I also have a video here that's going to pop up. It's about a garden that I've started. Check it out. I'm going to be posting a lot more about that, giving updates, and you can follow along with that. So thanks again. God bless, and please keep me in your prayers. We all need as much as we can get. I'll see you around.